Hello my friends and welcome. This is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go to Avdiivka direction, the main hotspot. It seems like Russia started one more huge wave of the assault towards the city, towards Stepova and the industrial part of Avdiivka. Well, at least today we got the information that Russia accumulated already many of the forces in this region somewhere and also in Krasnohorivka. And now they performed small attacks on Ukrainian positions to identify the most vulnerable direction for Ukrainian army. So today we have the video of the Russian advancement also again towards Stepova. I've already published this one on my Telegram channel. As you can see, it's snowy a little on this place and there is the Russian armored vehicle over here. However, it was already targeted by the Ukrainian defenders, but still Russia sent one more. Probably this one is the tank, so they tried to make their assault successful, and after it they sent more and more units towards the place. You can see it's kind of the long convoy over here, so here, and you may see many of the vehicles, but Ukrainian artillery also fires towards the place. However, we don't have enough forces to target all the Russian vehicles, unfortunately. So this time they were able to propel a little. Well, actually, mostly they just moved their forces to start the new massive attack on Avdiivka. It's not yet the major assault. As I said to you before, Russia has created some of the bridgehead spots over here, and also the main hub center is now located in Krasnohorivka. Yes, Krasnohorivka is still under Ukrainian artillery fire. Nevertheless, Russia has the place to hide over there. One more center in Vesela. So what they do, they just move the forces to Krasnohorivka and Vesela, and later on move them towards those temporary bridgeheads, and from those they start the assault to this side and towards Stepova. From Vesela they have the south vector towards this place across the lake. Ukraine also has the bridgehead in Stepova and nearby villages, but honestly I don't think that the defense over there is very robust. What helps Ukraine are some of the natural obstacles, so for Russia it's quite unreal scenario to go just through those rivers over here. That is why they mainly now advance towards the industrial area, especially to cut the supply road for Ukraine. So two of the main vectors, one towards this place and one towards this place. The bad thing is that Ukrainian troops are facing artillery shortages. That's why our general commander Petroski, who is responsible for Ukrainian defense on the east, in Bakhmut, in Avdiivka, in all of those areas, said that Ukraine should cancel some of the operations because of the lack in artillery and other munition. We are not yet speaking that Ukraine should withdraw the forces from Kherson direction. Actually, I heard many different opinions on those Ukrainian bridgeheads. Some of the soldiers say that it's the useless operation and we just have losses over there. We should take our forces back to Ukrainian controlled territory, to Kherson for example. But today I listened to Magyar, who is now opposing the New York Times journalist who said that this is the useless operation of Ukraine. Magyar is fighting over there. He knows what is happening and he says that it's not the useless Ukrainian attack. He sees it with his own eyes and I would agree with him. Ukraine has the potential on the other shore. We shouldn't listen to the mainstream journalists. Sometimes their opinion is not valid. It depends on the background of particular individual who writes the story. So New York Times or not, but we need to see the actual picture on the front lines, and Magyar over there, he gives the actual picture. I saw his video, it is 16 minutes long. Sorry guys, I'm unable to create subtitles for that long video. It will take me all the day. And here is the result of the Ukrainian group in Krinky. This is the Russian T-90M Prorif tank. You may see it from this turret. So this tank was kaboomed over there. The Russian convoys were totally demolished. They performed many of the attacks on Krinky using their forces, but all of them failed. And this is one more illustration of the Russian convoy near to Krinky. Lots of the vehicles, and there was the Salzenberg that was kaboomed by Ukrainian army. By the way, my friends, some of the content like that I am unable to publish on this platform. To watch many kind of those videos and also to be updated on the Ukrainian topic, please subscribe for my Telegram channel. You may find it in a video description just below. This is Krinky again. Russia tried to advance with their T-90 mighty Russian tank, the best tank in the world, but this tank was targeted by the FPV drone. Later on it lost control and went to the bushes, and after it got the second strike, was abandoned by crew and caught fire. Now it completely burned. So FPV drones rule. So Russian convoy attack on Krinky usually fail, but what they continue to use the aviation gliding bombs, and they start to use FAB 1500. You may see this huge explosion across the Dnieper River on Ukrainian controlled territory. By the way, it is the most devastating weaponry that Russian army has. Those are not precise, but they demolish the vast territory, especially those heavy bombs. Russia again tried to perform their attack towards Robotyne from Novoprokopivka directly using this road. It's the most stupid decision possible. They advanced with 2 of the BMDs, but still the vehicle, the armored vehicle with caterpillars and capable to carry the infantry forces. So what happened to it, you see on the video, the same stuff happened to the other one. So quite a useless waste of their resources by the Russian Federation, but I already tired of being wondered and surprised about these Russian tactics. Well, some of the very expensive Russian equipment was targeted. Again, the air defense system, this time Buk M3. This is the charging unit over here, and this is the Buk system itself. And this is the special radar that is used to provide the signal for the Buk system, and not only. So everything of that was totally demolished. Russia is unable to secure their own air defense systems from the aerial attacks of Ukrainian drones and artillery. Again, I'll publish the full video on my Telegram channel. Ukraine tests one more drone type. You can see lots of the rivets, but I think it makes this drone more cheaper. It has the 2-stroke Boxer double-cylinder engine on the front as well as propeller. So not a standard scheme, I would say, and basically it looks more like the airplane rather than the drone construction. You might see that mostly the propeller is on the back on most of the drones, and the construction of the most drones is the flying wing, like this, something like that. So the Shahed drones are like that, but here we have the classical airplane construction with horizontal stabilizer, vertical one with big rudder, elevator, whatever. I think that this one is unable to carry lots of the load, so probably it might be used as the surveillance machine. But again, with that engine, I'm in a great doubt, so probably it's the kamikaze drone. I believe the one we saw before is more capable compared to that one. This may carry, I think, more payload. At least it's my own view as an aviator. Pentagon has announced that on 30th of December they will run out of the funds for Ukraine. There will be one more military support of Ukraine very soon, this month in December, probably next week, and later on we'll just wait for the Senate to take the major decision about Ukraine. The main thing is not even the new military support, but the support of the current weaponry that we already have in Ukraine. Without the involvement of the United States, we're basically unable to maintain our artillery systems, our HIMARS, and many more, and those F-16s that haven't been sent to Ukraine yet. The remaining funds for Pentagon is just $1 billion United States dollars. That's it. If we speak about the long-term military support, it is just nothing. Let's touch the United States politics just briefly. Bloomberg says that the rating of the President Biden dropped to the record low number. Just 34% of all of the Americans do support Joe. Well, what can I say? Definitely many of the experts, analytics say that Trump has the chances to be elected the next year as the president of the United States. and that brings uncertainty for Ukraine, because he already told that he is willing to negotiate with Putin about Ukraine. He is not hesitating for Ukraine to lose its territories in favor of Russia, and those statements brought lots of the hate towards Trump from the Ukrainian community, let's say. But on the other hand, then Trump was the president, Ukraine started to receive the lethal weaponry for the first time. We obtained javelins and many of the anti-tank systems. Before we had just the protective equipment from the United States of America, and I'm not saying about the full-scale war. It happened many years before, during Obama administration, when Russia got Crimea and part of Donbass under control, and then Trump got the power. He started to supply javelins for the first time to Ukraine. Joe Biden intensified those supplies right before the start of the full-scale war in 2022. So Trump is definitely unpredictable for us as for Ukrainians. He might say to President Zelensky that he will not obtain any more help and he should give up the territories to Putin. On the other hand, he might say that he will support Ukraine more in case he fails to negotiate this deal peacefully. He already said that he will support Ukraine everything in case Putin wouldn't like to sign the peace deal. But still, it's very, very unpredictable. With the Joe Biden, we already understand the vector of the military support. However, again, his actions were not taken at the proper time from what we think, especially with the Lend-Lease law. There was no any weaponry supplied to Ukraine using that program. It seems like the White House administration thought that everything is okay in Congress. They don't really need to use the Lend-Lease. And now that law is over already, it expired, and there are no any levers for Democrats, for Joe Biden to support Ukraine any longer. So definitely we are now in a trouble with military support of Ukraine, even without Trump being in power. Again, my friends, you may totally disagree with me. I just give you my own perspective and the perspective of the most Ukrainians, because I see the reaction in our social media, I see what people are talking about, so we mostly think like that. So Reuters gives us the forecast of the Trump's decisions if he becomes the next United States president. He might potentially reduce the support of Europe in general, and also will ask European countries to donate more for NATO organization. It would be the demand to pay 2% of all of the GDP. Cutting the financial support of Ukraine, that's the main concern for me personally and for our people. Reducing the trade with China, well, that's good. Negotiations with Mexico to solve the problem with their cartels using the United States Special Forces. Well, I'm in a great doubt that it might be effective. Well, it could be potentially, but we'll see. So definitely Trump is the choice of uncertainty, not only for Ukraine but for the rest of the world. But at the same time, Germany increased the military support of Ukraine. The huge deal was signed for 1.2 billion euros just for artillery shells with a single German concern. The deal is signed till 2029. Oh my god, so they do expect that the war would last that long. So Ukraine will obtain thousands of the artillery shells from Germany. By the way, the European Union is very supportive now towards Ukraine. If you exclude the Hungarian government, it would be a great unity. But still they were able to negotiate about military support even with Hungary. For me, it's a little nonsense, I would say. Let me tell you what I mean. There are 27 countries in the European Union. Each country has many of the politician parties, many forces, and still they were able to negotiate about the military support of Ukraine. Yes, Hungary is a little opposing that stuff, but still the overwhelming majority pushes the Hungary to proceed with many of the pro-Ukrainian deals, so it's not the huge problem, I would say. However, across the ocean there are just two parties in the United States of America, mainly, and they're unable to negotiate between each other about not just Ukraine but many topics. It's a very strange sign, saying that probably they're not so interested, but I'll keep positive on that. I still expect that United States of America will support Ukraine with military help the next year. Well, the European Union now thinks to cancel the right of Hungary to vote for European initiatives. Awesome. And actually they have the Article 8 of agreement that was ratified in 2007 that might potentially allow European Union to do it because the particular country violates the European legislation policy, so European law, and I would agree that Hungary does it and does a lot. But again, it might take many years because of the bureaucracy of the European Union. I wonder how we even get the help from the European Union with their bureaucracy, and the support is quite big. So you see that European Union is working to push Hungary to vote properly or do not vote at all. The European Union today agreed the new sanction package on Russia. They will ban some of the selling of the Russian diamonds and some of the alloy or aluminium products from the Russian side. Not the aluminium itself, but some of the aluminium things like tubes and other stuff. Also, they will ban more stuff that could potentially be used by the Russian military. But again, there are no robust levers to control the third countries who might order everything from the European Union and further sell it to Russia. So this mechanism of the punishment of the third organizations is not yet being developed. That is why the expert to Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Armenia rose by many times since sanctions were applied on the Russian Federation. Alright, we have some of the satellite images saying that Russia moved their Black Sea fleet to Novorossiysk, mostly to the other part of the Black Sea. They are afraid that they might potentially lost all of those ships in Sevastopol. Good news from Finland. Finally, the local court arrested Jan Petroski, who is the leader of the Russian Nazi or neo-Nazi battalion. They had done lots of the war crimes in Ukraine, and I was really surprised that the High Court of Finland decided that they don't need to punish this guy, but now it seems like they changed their mind. So he stays in prison in Finland and no one is sending him to Russia right now. Good. Obviously, it's better to see him in Ukrainian court. Our General Commander Zaluzhny confirmed that there was the spy recording device found in the room of one of his offices. He has 3 of the offices. He said that they were going to have the meeting in one of those and they were searching for the possible spy devices and they found one. So far it's hard to say who planted that device into that room. Here we have the statistics of the Ukrainian financial support, so not the military sector, but mostly infrastructure, humanitarian stuff, pensions and other things that Ukraine is now unable to do on its own because our economy shrinked a lot. As you can see, the most funds we got from the European Union, after that the United States of America, the IMF, Canada, Japan, Great Britain, World Bank, Germany and other countries. But Germany is the part of the European Union as well as some of those countries, so they do support Ukraine from this fund as well. There is again the new escalation in blocking the Ukrainian trucks. Now some of the farmers are joining that protest. I understood before that Ukraine shouldn't really sell its grains to Poland because yes, by doing so we might potentially destroy the farmer market, the local one in Poland, so I would agree with that, but blocking our trucks is complete nonsense. I studied this topic and there are some pro-Russian parties are doing this stuff and not all of the farmers support that stuff, just part of them are joining this thing. But I'm sure that it will be resolved. Poland was in the same situation, then they joined the European Union, that they want to get to the European markets. Denmark and Sweden will support Ukraine with more CV-90s for $263 million. We have the official report about it from the Swedish government, so awesome deal was approved for Ukraine. Those machines are fantastic. By the way, Ukraine is also producing its own weaponry, for example the artillery system Bogdana. We have already 30 units of those systems in Ukrainian army and produce each month 6 of the units. That's awesome. Try to guess what it is. What is this? This is the Russian electrical vehicle. It's on tests right now and they're planning to release it in 2025. Oh my god, it's definitely the ugliest car. It's impossible design. Oh my god, what a shame. It's the most important thing that this car needs is 2 of the spots where it could be potentially towed, because it will not because it will not run for the very long time. The car name is Amber, and what you see over here is the sign that the tests are ongoing. Oh my god. My friends, now don't forget to press the like to this video. By doing so, you help me a lot. Also, if you want to support my job, you may find some of the links in the video description just below. Special thanks for my Patreon supporters and the sponsors of my YouTube channel. Guys, thank you so much for your awesome support. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.